Minecraft 1.21 is here, and they have broken and changed our raid farms. In this video, I'll be telling you absolutely everything you need to know about these new changes and what you need to do to fix your raid farms on Minecraft Bedrock Edition. This tutorial will show you how to fix your raid farm for Minecraft 1.21. I'm going to assume that you already have a raid farm built, because that's kind of the point of this video, is to fix it. And this video works for any raid farm on Bedrock Edition, so it doesn't matter which one you have, this tutorial should work for you. So the mechanic that you're probably used to with these pillagers is you find a captain somewhere in your world, or they find you, and then you kill them and you get the bad omen effect immediately. So now whenever you walk into a village, whether that be an iron farm, trading hall, or a raid farm, you're gonna start a raid immediately. How this works in Minecraft 1.21 and above is a little bit different. So now when you kill a pillager captain, these guys are just going to drop an ominous bottle, which is that thing right there. And as you can see, there are 5 different layers. There's bad omen 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. For now, you can ignore the different levels. They don't really mean anything. So now, if you walk into a village after killing a pillager captain, you're not going to get a raid. The only way to actually start a raid is to manually drink one of these bottles in a village. So once this effect goes away, then it does actually start the raid. As you can see, it has quite the cooldown on it. And then we have another cooldown with this boss bar that is powering up. And after all that waiting, we finally have some pillagers somewhere. There's 3 other major pros to having the bad omen work this way. For instance, you don't have to build your raid farm on top of a pillager outpost anymore. You can actually have your raid farm wherever you want. You're also going to be collecting all the experience from the pillagers at your outpost, so you will be getting more experience from your raid farms. And this is actually more efficient. Previous updates would be wasting a ton of your bad omen, but now you're going to be getting bad omen from every single captain that you kill. Of course, there's a few cons to the system, like there's no good way to fully AFK. You can only semi-AFK. You can come back to your device every few minutes and drink another potion. This can actually be a good thing because raid farms are still dangerous and vexes can still spawn. No matter how good your design is, sometimes you still just get vexes. Even if you could find out a way to somehow AFK and automatically drink potions at the correct timing to start a new raid, you would still be losing out on the looting effect on your trident killer, so your rates would be 2.5 times lower. Mojang has found another way to nerf raid farms on Bedrock Edition. So after you complete a raid, there's a 30-second raid victory bar that's on screen. If you drink an ominous potion during that victory bar, it will not start a raid. You have to wait for that bar to go away, drink a potion, and then wait another 30 seconds for the next raid to start. So there's a full 1 minute built-in cooldown between all raids now. So really the only thing that needs to change with our Bedrock Edition raid farms is the lower section on top of the pillager outpost, since we need to get those bottles and deliver them to the player. This tutorial is going to be an upgrade to my standard trident killer design for the top of the pillager outpost. If you already have a trident killer installed up there, or if you have a different system, then you're going to want to tear that out and replace it with my previous design, which you can find in this video right here. So let's go over how your raid farm is going to work in Minecraft 1.21, at least for the pillager outpost section. So all of your pillagers are going to be dying down here like normal. The captains are going to be dropping their bottles, and all the items and experience from all of your trident killers are going to be going into this water stream. We have 5 item filters down here to sort out all of the ominous bottles, and those are going to be going into a separate hopper line and sent up to the AFK spot via bubble column. All the items and experience go right over those item sorters. They go down into this stream, and the other excess items get sorted out and put into bulk storage, like your crossbows and other junk item. Your experience continues along the water stream and goes right up to the AFK spot to be collected by the player. And then you're going to be standing up here at your AFK spot and holding your looting sword. All of the experience from the pillagers are going to be delivered to you, and as you can see, you're going to be getting all the ominous bottles as well. You're actually going to be getting a lot more bottles than you'll be able to use at your raid farm, so eventually you're going to end up with a nice stockpile of these things. And then your raid farm is just going to be up here and above you. Whenever you are ready to start a raid, you simply go ahead and drink one of these potions, and you're good to go. That really is all there is to it. Again, this tutorial works for any standard raid farm on Bedrock Edition. It doesn't matter which one you got. And let's hop into the tutorial, shall we? So for this build, I'm going to be assuming that you have a lower trident killer setup similar to this one. If you need to know how to build this, again, you can check out my video linked down below. And again, not every outpost has 4 spawn spots, so you might only have 1 trident killer. Either way, it's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. So the first thing that we need to do is remove this central bubble column. It's just not necessary right there. Now that we've removed our bubble column, we can go ahead and adjust this central water stream that we have right here. So this is taking the items from our back to trident killers and moving them to the center. And of course, our items from the front too are also going to center. We're going to be sending all of our items to the north side of the pillager outpost. So if you pull out a locator map, the top of the map is of course going to be north. So our items are going to be going over in this area. Basically, what we need to do is just place in ourselves a button right there. Remove that button, put in ourselves another piece of packed ice right there, and then you can remove that button and let this water flow. If we back up a little bit, then you might see that this water source right here is actually stagnant. So if you throw an item in there, it's not going to actually move. And an easy way to fix that is to just put in one leaf block right here. That's going to make the water flow a little bit further, and that'll get rid of your stagnation. And now what we need to do is put in a button right here and one more water source just to continue that water stream. Now that we have that sorted out, we're going to be adjusting this main water stream right here. So we're going to replace all these leaves or whatever blocks that you have underneath your water stream here with some pieces of packed ice. That way all of our items and experience can flow a lot faster. So now on this side, we need to go 3 blocks out from the corner. So that's 1, 2, and then on the third block, you need a button, and we also need a button right there as well. So this is what your little intersection should look like right here. Now from this empty spot right here, we're actually going to be breaking out these blocks, and we need to have in an extra 2 packed ice right here. So now we're going to place in ourselves a glass block right here with a button on the side of it, and just place in one water source like this. This is going to take all of your items and experience from the entire farm, no matter how many trident killers you have, and it's going to deliver it to this area right here. So even if you don't have all 4 trident killers, just make sure that your water streams are set up in such a way that all of your items and experience end up right in this area. An easy way to test this is to put in a block down here and then a couple blocks up on all the sides. And now you want to go ahead and turn on your trident killers and stand at your AFK spot. What should happen is all of your items and experience should end up right in this back far corner. If they don't, then you need to adjust your water streams and make sure that everything is correct. So after running your build for a couple of minutes, you should see all of your items and experience are piled up on that back corner. So you are good to go for continuing the build. We're going to remove all those temporary blocks. Now we're going to build up our item filters underneath this water stream. So go down by a couple of blocks like this, and we need 5 blocks going to the right. This is where we're actually going to have our comparators reading from our hopper lines, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. So we need to break out this little line on our pillager outpost right here. That way we actually have room to build up our item filters. Building up the item filters is really easy. We're going to go in from the left side right here. We're going to place in a block downwards right here, and then you can replace these blocks with standard blocks if you want. We also need a target block in right here, and then a glass block like that. So it should be this general shape right here. You want redstone dust on top of all of those 3, and that's it. So you just need to continue that down the line for all 5 of these, and that'll give you all of your item filters installed. And then of course on the front of this, you need all of your target blocks down here, and then right on top of this, we're going to put in all of our comparators. So now we're going to go to the right side of this build and go out by a couple blocks. We're going to place in a hopper line right here, and this is going to send all of your items to the right into that block. Now we need to go to the other side of this, and you need to crouch to place hoppers into the sides of all of those ones. This is going to take items from our item filters into that hopper line. And now turn around again, and you need to crouch and place a hopper pointing into those comparators right there. And that is basically your item filter done. All you need to do now is place 1 redstone torch on top of each one of these target blocks. Now we can go ahead and remove these temporary blocks that we put on the right side in here, and we're going to install some blocks around this top hopper line right here. That way we can actually contain in the water. So we're just going to place in some blocks on that side. We're going to place in a block right here, place in a block here, and then we need to build up this left wall as well. So continue that down to the edge. We're also going to place in a couple extra blocks right here. That way no items or experience fly out of the water stream and land on that little edge. And to finish up this water stream right here, we're just going to remove this banner and place in ourselves a couple more glass blocks on the end right here, and then a button. On the left side over here, you need to place in 1 more water source right next to that packed ice. That's going to flow everything over and drop them down this little hole. Now we're going to install the water line that takes items and experience to your bubble column. So we're going to place in a temporary block right here, and then 3 pieces of packed ice. And that should, of course, be lined up with your main water stream. So that's going to be coming out in this direction. So now we're going to place in a couple more temporary blocks. We need 2 double chests in this area right here, and place in a couple hoppers going into the back side of of that. This is going to collect all the junk items from your pillager outposts, so all of your banners and arrows and crossbows. You're gonna want to expand the storage. This will fill up very quickly. Now we're gonna go 4 blocks out to the right of this with some packed ice, and on the 5th block we're gonna put in our soul sand, and that should be lined up with your AFK spot. If it's not, then you can adjust it to the right or to the left to make sure that it is in fact lined up with your AFK spot. So that's all of your junk items and experience taken care of, but now we need to move the ominous bottles into that bubble column as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop out these couple blocks right here on the side of the outpost. So we're going to place down a temporary block in here, and then we need 6 hoppers pointing into that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And this is going to take all of your ominous bottles and put them right in there. Once you have that installed, we're going to replace this temporary block right here with a dropper facing forward. So this is going to shoot all of your items into the water stream. If you pop out that block, you should see your water stream right there. Now on the back side of this, we're going to place in a comparator right here going into a block, piece of redstone, block right here, turn around, and you need a repeater right here with a piece of redstone dust, and then a target block in front of it. So whenever you put an item into here, it's going to automatically get shot out into a water stream. So now we just need to go ahead and break out that block right there so we can put in a couple more pieces of packed ice. We're going to put a block to either side of that dropper to contain the water, and then also a block right above it like so. That way our items don't get stuck in there. Now we just need to surround this with some blocks, so that way all the water is contained. So we're going to put in some blocks onto this inner edge right here. Go ahead and put on some blocks onto this outer edge right here to contain all of the items and water. And then you just need to put in a block here and here as well. And then we're going to put in one right underneath that block. Now place in a water source right here on the very back side. Place in a button right here. Now we need to place in a water source directly in front of our dropper back there. Place in one more water source next to that button and one button next to your soul sand, and you should be good to go. And now you can build up your bubble column going all the way up to your AFK spot. So however high your AFK spot is, that's how high you need to build your bubble column. And your bubble column should look something like this. This is going to go up to the same height as your AFK spot. Once you get to the top here, you just need to make the water stream go over and put a sign on top of your AFK spot. We also have this block right here above the water stream, but that just stops items from flying out. The last thing to do is to actually set up all of your item filters, but of course, you're probably not going to have any ominous bottles right now, so I'd recommend just putting a lever on top of all of these, flicking these, that way all of your item filters are locked, and then just go ahead and run your trident killers for like maybe 5 or 10 minutes. All of your items will end up in your chests over here, and then you can pick up all of your ominous bottles and build up your item sorters. So you're going to need at least 2 of every type of ominous bottles from level 1 through 5, and this is how we're going to be setting up our item filters. The first one is for your level 1 potions or whatever. As you can see, we have 2 of those in there, and then we have 40 other items, 1, 1, and 1. This is not the standard layout for an item filter. This is not overflow proof, but this system is never going to back up. I would recommend renaming these items in these extra slots, so that way you know the system isn't going to break somehow. So this one is set up for our level 1 potions, and then we have our level 2, level 3, level 4, and level 5. All those potions are going to be sorted out from our water stream, put into our dropper back there, and then sent up to the AFK spot, while all the other items from our farm are going to be going into bulk storage. And with that, you are good to go to start using your raid farms in Minecraft 1.21 without leaving your AFK spot. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, then drop a like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.